Good afternoon. How are we doing? I hope you're good. So I imagine a majority of people on lunch, so I thought I'd jump on board and just do something that I was writing about, and it's just recognising complacency, and something I've started to notice with some of our guys who have transitioned from 5 days to 28 days to the mastermind is that they've had this big build-up for 5 days, and then on the 28 days, they're all fired up, they're focused, they're motivated, they're driven, they're hungry. Then we come into the mastermind, and then we get on our 12-week plan, we map out our 12-week plan, and they're hungry. And then there is this like little transition, this little gap where we suddenly dip and we become complacent because we've been so focused for so long. Complacency starts creeping in not only in our health, but within our business, within our energy levels, within our attention to detail, within our motivation, okay? And I'm going to give you kind of 3 signs that I tend to recognize in people that are becoming complacent. And people tend to recognize these signs themselves when I ask them. And the first one is just becoming very comfortable. You suddenly become unchallenged. Suddenly everything becomes sort of very easy. Now that is great if you've kind of gone from a place where you have been struggling and your routine has been poor, and you've come from a background where you haven't been focusing on yourself, and now suddenly you have and you've moved forwards, but you've just got comfortable with that routine, and you're not willing to push anymore. You're not really challenged. And this really comes down to looking at the goals that you've set yourself and kind of going, are they challenging enough? Am I waking up in the morning and I've got fire in my belly and I've got a spark to get out and get it and own it and challenge myself? Or am I slipping and resting on my laurels? Am I just saying, great, I've done really well so far, but you know what? I've just slipped. And often I see this, people peak and people drop without that continuation of a push. That's what my job is on the phone, right? Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't you pushing yourself? Why aren't you feeling challenged? Tell me your goals. No, they're not good enough. Let's raise the game. And we're always looking to raise the game. We're always looking to move 1% forwards all of the times. But what ends up happening is we hit a brick wall and we become that comfortable. So recognize that in yourself, becoming comfortable and unchallenged. A common trait of doing it, a second one, is pressing snooze. Because when you wake up, you suddenly feel to yourself, wait a minute, I just don't feel like fired up to get up. I'm not really up for it. I just put my head under the duvet and felt pretty shit. And then that makes you feel shit because you started off on a loss. The minute you press snooze, if you press snooze and stay in bed, 90% likely that you are going to have a shit day. If you don't press snooze and get up and you own your day, it's 90% chance that you're going to have a great day. And you're going to start off with a win. The first win or loss battle starts when the alarm goes off. Beep, 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 beep. You open your eyes. Your brain becomes awake. Do I hit win? Do I hit lose? Okay, and that is a clear sign that you are complacent. You're not challenged. You're not focused. You don't need to get up. And I've kind of done. I've done like 2 months where I've focused on myself. I've done it. I know it all. Horseshit. That's where people start crumbling, when they think they've got it and they haven't. It takes a long time to do it, and that's why we've got to be sharp. We've got to be straight up out of bed and owning it and getting those first wins in the bag straight away. Okay, and the last sign that you are becoming complacent is you're unmotivated. You become unmotivated, and that is again a clear sign that links to the others, that your goals are not strong enough, that you are not pushing yourself to your limits, and it's called optimal anxiety. Now, this was on my meditation show this morning, and actually I was thinking about it leading up to it. So to be on the cusp of our comfort zones, we want to be right on the very edge of pushing ourselves so that we feel like, that feeling when you go for a run and you feel a bit sick, you're about to do a race or an OCR. Or if you've ever done jiu-jitsu and you're about to go on a mat and you compete with a complete stranger where you're about to have conflict and you're about to go to battle, that is on the edge of your comfort zones. You're like drawing out these emotions that you haven't had before. And that's what we're looking for. We want to be on the comfort zone, that optimal point where actually I don't want to be too anxious where I fucking bury my head and I'm scared, or I don't want to be too comfortable and complacent and not drive or push myself. But I actually want to be in the middle where I'm on the cusp of my comfort zone all the time. How can I challenge myself all of the time? How can I not rest on my laurels? How can I not fall back into complacency? Because complacency, as soon as you come past this line of complacency, you start going 1% downhill and you start getting into old habits. And your brain's starting, your chimp is starting to pull you back the opposite way. So to burst out of that complacency, we need to make sure our goals are 10x. That means that we are pushing ourselves 10 times harder than we think that we can. Okay, so if you think 5K is enough, hey, fuck it. Let's try and go for 10K. Let's up that game. Okay, if 3 sessions is like comfort, then let's push it to maybe 4 or 5. And let's just see if we can raise the bar. We always want to be on our edge. You do go through periods where you will have downtime. You'll have a week off, or you'll focus on something else, or you'll go on holiday. That's fine. But if you can feel yourself slipping and going back into complacency mode where bad habits are coming in, you need to recognize those signs and start doing something about it, okay? Before you fall right back to the very bottom of the ladder and have to fucking start again, and you don't want to do that. Just really raising your self-awareness, guys. And if you like this stuff, you'll like the 5-day challenge, okay? It's about raising your game all of the time and raising your mindset, okay? So that your state of mind is strong, and that makes you strong. And that creates better results for you, being mentally, emotionally, and physically stronger. And I think it's important to recognise the signs. Open up the self-awareness chips. Open up the doors and understand yourself better. Because you understand the triggers, you can deal with them better. Okay, listen, have a great Tuesday. I will catch you at some point during the week, no doubt. But feel free to join our free 5-day challenge. Next week, we've got 5 days of in-depth coaching and focus and guidance that will help you, I promise you. All right, see you soon.